So today I'm going to be talking about an incident that happened with journalist Savannah Craven. I believe that's her name. A woman who was assaulted on the streets of New York City by a woman she was interviewing. The topic they were talking about was basically Planned Parenthood and, asking opinions and, started going back and forth. Unfortunately, ended with a bit of violence. Now, for my opinion on whether the violence was acceptable, it's gonna come a little later. Right now, I kind of want to get into what they were talking about, which was Planned Parenthood, abortions, pro-choice, pro-life, things of that nature. Now, I'm not gonna give my deep opinion on that, but I'm going to bring up, some things about, Planned Parenthood. I believe that Planned Parenthood is an action that pays for things like abortions, birth control, condoms, counseling, things of that nature, to prevent unwanted parenthood. And is that a good thing to an extent? Of course. But I kind of want to bring something up about abortions. In 2021, black women had the highest abortion rate, while white women had the lowest. And if you take a look at the screen, you can see all the, percentages per 1,000 women and things of that nature. So you can kind of come to a conclusion that it's more so of a black people topic because, we kind of see it the most in certain aspects. The woman by the name of Brianna Rivers is the woman who assaulted the journalist. And whether you believe she was in the right or in the wrong, not my say so. But if you looked at her, you can probably guess that she was most likely black, maybe Hispanic, maybe like mixed, somewhere in that ballpark. Now, I'm going to read to y'all the definition of an abortion. The deliberate termination of a human pregnancy, most often performed during the first 28 weeks of pregnancy. As you can see here, most abortions are done during the first trimester, around 9 weeks. And as you can see here, it says the human fetal heart typically begins to be between 5 and 6 weeks of gestation. So based off what I just read, you can kind of say most likely that you are killing something. Am I right or am I wrong? And that is what the interviewer was bringing up, saying that you are okay with killing the baby. And the woman, Brianna Rivers, said yes. She said it, and I believe that she also brought up, are you cool with killing kids who are in foster care due to the fact that they don't have any parents loving? And I believe she said, sure, yeah.
You don't get to kill the baby just because their dad didn't want them. Should we kill the kids in foster care? And
why not? Why not, if that's the case?
So yeah, just also to bring up, she believes that why not? Why not kill babies in foster care? But hey, I'll skip past that because I just kind of ignore certain things. One thing also that the reporter pulled up, Miss Craven, was that, hey, if you don't want the kid, just don't have sex. And one thing that Miss Rivers decided to bring up was that that's illogical. And, that's kind of a different can of worms because, spirituality has kind of just left America in a way, sense or form. Like everything's kind of been sexualized. So yeah, you could say that's illogical in a certain way, but in reality, no, it's not illogical. It's you just don't have sex and guess what? Won't get pregnant. That's a valid way to put that. And in reality, it's like, what I agree with doesn't matter, but I think it is slightly unfair to say, hey, it's just better to kill the babies in a sense because we've looked it up already, rather than just to have some form of celibacy. I remember back in 2021 when Texas banned abortions for up to 6 weeks, and someone in the comments put, that's stupid because most women don't know that they're pregnant until that 6-week mark, and a lot of women liked it. And when I read that, I kind of thought that's kind of interesting that a lot of women wouldn't know that they're pregnant until a certain mark, because that means that they are having careless sex if that's the case, because if you can't keep up with who you're letting inside of you, I think that that's a whole different talk that you need to have with somebody. I don't think that's a issue with the state banning abortions. And I gotta try and remain unbiased during this whole video, so I'm gonna keep it rolling.
It's two.
Just don't have sex then. Just don't have sex.
That's not even logical.
It is.
It is. Who are you, Nancy?
I sound dumb.
You
sound
do.
dumb as okay.
It does, because even as teens, people explore. And it's like, as funny as you want to be, people should still have the choice.
Now, obviously, as you can tell, back and forth, and eventually 1-2. That's what happened. You would be correct. And here's where we get to the assault that happened. I think as a person that if you are talking a certain amount of recklessness to somebody in a way that could come off as, oh, I'm violent or something like that, I think you have every right to have the ability to have some form of violence come at you. And that is if you are talking reckless to a sense where you want violence. For instance, if you are telling people what's good or calling people out of their name multiple times, I think, you got what's coming to you if you do get punched. So I'm not faulting anybody in that sense. Now, do I think that Miss Craven was being overly disrespectful to Miss Rivers? It's like, but I don't think that Miss Craven ever came in a form of being violent towards Miss Rivers, because she was calm the whole time. It was a street interview. Miss Rivers could have walked away if she didn't like the interview. And that's genuinely what happened. Here is my problem with this whole situation. Going in the comments and seeing women put things like, you want us to go viral, you're viral, things of that nature, just basically claiming that this woman asked for this type of, cruel way of being, handled in a confrontation, I wasn't the biggest fan of, because I have realized that women enjoy the suffering of other people when their feelings get hurt. Women are cool with another man or another woman getting punched when their feelings get hurt due to whether it's facts, whether it's someone just disagrees with them. A prime example is Will Smith and Chris Rock. Will Smith went up to Chris Rock and slapped him at the Grammys in front of a bunch of people because Chris Rock made a joke saying, "Jada, I loved you in G.I. Jane, blah, blah, blah." He didn't even make the joke. It was a written joke. And, Jada made a face. Will Smith walked up on stage, slapped Chris Rock, and women were cool with it, saying, "Oh yeah, my man should have did the same thing. You don't talk about me, this, that, and the third." All because it was about a woman. Because Jada felt some type of way. Women just felt as if what he did was okay, when that was assault. And I've just slowly became to the idea where I noticed, like, hey, women like toxicness to a certain degree when it benefits them. I'm willing to believe and bet money that if it was the same Savannah Craven on the street and she was interviewing a gay man and the gay man was pro-choice and he was getting sick and tired of her and punched her twice, that women would still be okay with that. I'm willing to bet money that's the case. Because when their feelings are at stake, a lot of the times they will take the side. But hey, I think honestly, I said all I really needed to say. Don't have much to say. Y'all can give me y'all's opinions. Am I wrong? Oh, Dab, you a a-hole. Am I right? Hey, you spoke some facts. Just say whatever. I don't get offended. So just have at it. But yeah, I appreciate y'all for watching. If y'all stay for this long, really, hey, this might be my second day uploading straight. I might have to wait till Thursday to put this one out. But hey, I appreciate y'all. And thanks for rocking with me. Deuce.